Today, we are announcing our brand new PTO and time clock management dashboard. I can't tell you how excited about this we are. This is going to be your one-stop shop for everything PTO, time clock management, and evaluating the hours and payments that you're making to your team. As a team member, you're going to have a PTO and time clock management dashboard as well to look at your times. And we've packed it full of features to hopefully make it easier to do and more powerful. But don't miss this big important thing. This is just the beginning. This is just the framework that we're going to go all in with PTO and time clock management, because when you use it, you rely on it. So we're going to be adding tons of reports that are going to help you. We're going to be adding ROI reports. We're going to be adding so many things to this that are going to make it easier and better to run your payroll. We're even looking into integrations with payroll companies so that they can work seamlessly between those. Again, the sky's the limit on this, and this is just the beginning, and we're excited to unroll this to you. So check this out. So here's our new PTO and time clock management page. Starting tomorrow inside of your FrontRunner, there's going to be a brand new link that's going to say time clock and PTO. It's not available to get today, but you will see it tomorrow. And you're going to be able to click on that, and it takes you to a brand new time clock and PTO page. Now, from the dashboard, you can still have your team clock in and out. You can still have a logged hours module on there, but now you're going to have a dedicated page to this, right? So that you can see everything. So the first thing that you're going to see is a manage clock ins widget. Now, typically when this was on the dashboard, you only had like today's clock ins, but then you had to touch a button to be able to see everybody's clock ins. Now we're going to give you a whole week's worth of clock ins right in your view. You're going to be able to see, are those PTO or those overtime right in one nice organized list. So you're still going to have all the great features. In fact, one button that will roll out tomorrow is that filter ability to pick 2 dates to see those clock ins. But now you're going to see them all in one nice list without having to hit a pop-up and then hit a filter. It's just going to be so absolutely easy for you. But we are also adding something called the attendance report, where you can get one simple, easy report and look across it and see how often your team is clocking in or when they're missing work, right? So you're going to be able to run monthly attendance reports in a grid style so that you and your team can see the attendance, their attendance in this way. So just another super helpful thing that we think is going to be on this. All right, you still have the same great ability to export all of your clock ins right here, edit things, hit new clock ins right from this. Now, used to have to hit a button to see PTO. Well, we think that it was probably easy to miss PTO requests. And we would all the time talk to agents who were missing PTO because they just didn't see the request in there. Well, now we are completely fixing that by having a PTO request module. You're going to see all of your PTO requests right in one line. And just like everything else, you're going to be able to hit new request and make those PTO requests. If you're a team member, if you're an agent, you're still going to be able to select that team member and make that request for them. But we have something brand new that's coming to this, right? Because it used to be that when you asked for time off, you would pick days, and then your agent would approve those days, and then assign how many hours that is, right? Well, we know that doesn't always work for people that are on salary, or maybe you just want to take off 3 hours of the day. Well, when we unroll this, you're going to be able to do exactly that. You're going to be able to ask off for full days or ask off for hours or some combination of the two. And then your agent is going to be able to approve either full days or to approve a certain amount of hours. So we're giving more power and more flexibility right in your hands. But then we also wanted to make it easier to see available PTO. So now we've put all of that in a grid style where you as the agent can look in to see exactly how many days you have off. You as the team member will be able to see your days off as well. But think about how easy this is going to be now that you can just see in a nice grid what everybody has. Now, we also thought, well, you know what? It's really hard to figure out where to add PTO categories. Like if you want to create a new category, like, I don't know, some other category, maybe let's just call it Adam's category. You had to go back to agency management and then hit step number 2. Well, we've made that easier too now, right here on our dashboard. Now you can manage your PTO categories right from the PTO dashboard. So you might want to do a brand new category and call it Adam's category. And then hit Save PTO category. And you're going to notice that now opens up a brand new category inside your available PTO. Now, it used to be also when you were assigning PTO to your team, you had to go to step 2 and open up each individual name and add PTO to them. And we know that that could have been an arduous process. Well, now we've made that easier as well. Now you just click manage, and now it gives it to you in one pop-up screen where you can manage everybody's PTO time. So I might want to add another day to my agent PTO time. I'm going to add 6 there. I'm going to hit save, and you're going to see that now update right there on the agent. So I've got some time off pending. That's why it shows a decimal there. So again, more power. And the great thing is you can export every single widget to a nice Excel list. Again, more power, more flexibility. But this next thing we think you're really going to love. How about a PTO calendar? Especially if you've got multiple people asking for time off in the same month, maybe in those summer months, and you're like, kind of hard to see when everybody's off. Well, now we're actually giving you a calendar that's going to show when your team members have requested off and what you've approved for a month. This is going to be huge, right? For Christmas time, for June, July, and August, maybe May, when your team's taking vacations, you want to make sure they're not overlapping on each other. You can now do this right here on this PTO time off calendar. And if you wonder why they're asking off, you can always click it, and it's going to say need sleep. That's actually how I feel this morning. So it's going to tell you what that reason is that somebody was asking off. So it's the brand new time off calendar, and it's really easy to go forward months, and you can go back months in review as well. So again, just gives you more tools. But now we're going to increase the reporting as well. So check this out. Now we have a brand new hours worked pie chart. So you can visually, some of us are visual learners, right? Like we want to see things visually. So now we've got a brand new pie chart that's going to show you the amount of hours worked per person. And look at this, we added new colors because the one question we've had is, Adam, there's a lot of blues and there's a lot of blues and orange and maybe a little green. Well, we hear you. So we've added some brand new colors just to spice it up. And guess what? Just like anything else, you can export this pie chart into a PDF with graphics and be able to share it with your team. So it's going to make it really easy to be able to get that quick monthly reporting on hours worked for your team. Just click month, and then you're going to see the amount of hours that each team member has worked, the total amount of hours, and you'll see it there in a pie chart as well. We hope it's going to be really helpful. Additionally, we've put an overtime hours module where you can see the amount of overtime hours that your team currently has and the way to export those as well. A late clock-ins module where you can see everyone who's got those late clock-ins. And there's a couple new little buttons that will enroll tomorrow, the ability to dismiss things and delete these lines. But again, greater insight into your PTO. And the final widget I'll show you is an hourly payments. Again, you can only see this. Your team members are not going to see it, but you're going to be able to see a quick breakdown of what you've paid your team in sort of a gross hourly amount. It's not going to take into account taxes or anything like that yet, but it will show you a gross amount that you have paid your team. So this is our brand new PTO and time clock management dashboard. And again, this is meant to be our first sign of commitment to you that we're going to up our game with PTO and time clock. We've already added a bunch of new features and a bunch of new widgets right here, but we're going to keep adding things. In fact, in the next month and a half, you're going to see even more reports be filled right here. You're going to see even more functionality right here on this dashboard. Why? Because we found out that it is a central part of why many of you use FrontRunner. And so we're going to go all in and make sure that we are the best system out there that manages PTO and your time clock. So we hope you're excited about this. Again, this is just the start, but now even if this is the start, these are tons of brand new things that you didn't have, and it's going to be available to you tomorrow in your FrontRunner. But guess what? That's not all. I feel like there was some famous person that said that's not all. I guess Steve Jobs used to say, oh, there's one more thing, but we're not that cool. But there is one more thing. The cool thing is starting tomorrow, all of these new widgets, the time off calendar, the PTO widget, the hours worked thing, all of these things are going to be available even as custom widgets that you can put on your normal dashboard. So you're going to be able to take all these individual widgets and even put them right inside your dashboard. And they're going to be available in this list right here. So when you go over to agency setup and you're creating that custom dashboard, which is going to be right here, you're going to be able to see all of those widgets right in here as well, and even use some of them on your dashboard. Now, we encourage you to use this as your main page, because this is the way it's organized. We really think for you to see it best, but you might want to have a really quick little hours worked widget on your dashboard so you can take a quick look. So you're going to be able to do that, and we're super excited about that. Okay, so that is our big rollout today. So we told you about a whole bunch of new little things. We introduced our brand new time clock and PTO dashboard, but really our commitment is that this is just the start of all the new things that we're going to do. I'm most excited about the time clock ROI as well. So I got to tell you, I'm so excited about it. We're going to actually have a report that you're going to be able to look at somebody's hourly time, and it's going to look at all the activities and sales that they've done and the hours that they've worked, and it's going to produce an ROI report on that. It's going to be phenomenal. And so that's just one example of the kinds of reporting and new things that are going to be on this time clock and PTO dashboard. So maybe you don't use time clock here. Hopefully this will encourage you to even give it a try. So, okay.